but it says
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi.
hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our most compact stream yet.
It's like every week we just change things up a little bit.
Just get a little
Oh,
smaller.
you wanted things this way?
Give me 1 second. I want to see what McArdle's talking about over here.
Okay. So, TFP live stream.
Yep.
What happened?
To take down and put up is wearing and tearing our equipment.
That does suck. It does suck. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of cool stuff, we're like in the coolest building in
Half building.
the northeast quadrant of Bergen. It's like trying to get as specific as possible.
It is actually pretty.
It is pretty for this
chilling here now.
for this stretch of Buffalo Road. I think we got it going on.
we're doing okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Look at it.
It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, we made a post about it. We've got guns. Feels like a gun store here again.
Yeah.
Like, these are awesome. Where did we find these? Did you guys find these when you went to SHOT Show? How did we find these? Regardless, we have hooked up with a company called Gun Warden, and they make very cool...
They're wardens for guns.
Basically. They make very cool locking gun storage racks. So we have room for 50 long guns right back here,
Nice.
which is super cool. Yeah, very excited about that. We had a few, we had what, like maybe 15 or 20 out, maybe. And we had to keep putting them back in the vault every night. It was getting real old. They were getting damaged. Not cool. This, they're locking. You cannot remove them from this rack. And man, it's like an arms room like locker in here. It's very dense. With only 4 feet of storage, we've got 50 long guns up there. So especially in the compact space we're in now, we needed that.
Yeah.
So we've got this was here last stream too. We talked about it, but we've got this lovely counter, which you know, looks are somewhat deceiving. It's all made out of steel. Like you're not gonna. This isn't your normal. You know, display cabinet you get on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever. Like this thing is beefy, and we've got another cabinet we still haven't had time to put up yet, but that'll be going in here shortly.
Excellent.
Is it bigger?
It's the same size as this. They're all based off of like the 4 foot,
Okay.
like sections. Yeah.
Ryan sized.
Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers. Who are we?
Social.
That's embarrassing. Who are we cheersing tonight, or what are we cheersing?
To life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Amen. Amen. I hope everyone had a good Independence Day. And I thought it was cool. We got thanked. Several different people were like, when we posted that we're closed for Independence Day, they were like, thank you for calling it by its like actual name. Because everyone just says 4th of July, July 4th, 4th of July.
I always say Treason Day, personally.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too. Independence Day.
I like Treason Day.
Drop a comment down below. Let us know. Let us know how you celebrated being a free American. These what was that on Tuesday? This past Tuesday. Let us know down below. Let us know. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I did.
Yeah, what'd you do?
The complete opposite of what I would do at Beyond Driven Fitness.
Oh yeah.
I just drank beer and ate. So, you know, you go to Beyond Driven to go to like Genesee County's coolest gym and work out.
Yes.
But
And like get in better
Yes.
shape.
Yeah, I
You were
did the
going
total
other
opposite.
direction with it.
their
Okay.
new, what do they call it? The sweat lodge. What's their down below?
The sweat pit.
Sweat pit, sweat box, sweat pit, drip pit,
The drip pit. I can never think of it.
with their boxing and everything. Like, oh man, like the updates they've made to that place.
It's amazing.
smell
So
it.
the
I
Beyond
can smell it.
Boxing,
That's me. That's me.
the grand opening of Beyond Boxing is this coming Saturday. Josiah
cool.
just dropped the link down there in the chat. Go ahead and check those folks out over at Beyond Driven Fitness and Performance on Main Street in Leroy. They have, as Brandon said, probably the best fitness facility in Genesee County, I would think.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Tyler said not Brandon.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you know, and they're doing great things. 24/7 gym access. A lot of different classes you can go over there and enjoy.
They're doing
so
great things 24/7.
check 'em out.
365.
100%.
Definitely the firing pin of gyms,
Yes.
which I love.
Speaking
Yeah.
of people who are doing great things all day, every day, you know them, you love them. I'm talking about Arms Preservation Inc.
API.
API, our other sponsor. We love them and all of their fine products, to include their metal defense spray. Brandon, up there behind your head area, there's going to be a bottle of that metal defense spray. Yeah, hold it up for the
My
camera
hand
there.
modeling days are definitely over.
Oh, just be quiet.
You look amazing.
It's cool stuff. We're trying to do some long-term tests on it to see how it performs with other, corrosion inhibiting products, and I'm
really wanna-
excited. I think it's going to work really well.
Really want to spray it on this area that's over here on my. I want to
spray it
on
on
this
the-
gun that's on my hip, but I
We're
can't
going to
take
spray
it
it
out because
on
of
the new building. It'll protect the
Yeah.
spray it
new
on this
building.
laptop.
You know, the hardest thing about long duration tests is time.
The waiting, yeah.
Yeah, the time aspect of
Yeah,
things
yeah.
is hard.
I do not have much patience.
I would just take like a microwave sized time machine so I can just like
Yeah.
age 5 years.
So that's what it looks like.
Oh man. Why are we using these fancy mic stands?
Because the gun warden is PP level and that's all I have.
It's very short. It's very short. And also because we're selling them, guys. Because we're selling them. Come on.
Oh yeah, because we have these
You're a
for
salesman.
sale.
You're a
Yeah.
salesman.
We do sell Pelican cases. So
We got. I lost out on a batch of them yesterday. I was really trying to get some
I'm out.
more in here yesterday, but we got a batch in last week. A bunch of we got some big Pelican, some big boys. We still have a few left, like this yellow one. This is their Storm series. This is like $125 or maybe even like $150 case new. $40 down
Nice.
here. So these little ones, perfect for 1 or 2 guns, depending on what size they are. You know, like 2 compact guns could fit in the one like under ties. That one's $25, and that's like $100 case, maybe $75 case, brand new.
One can
All
of
day.
river beer to show size.
Yeah, exactly. And then Pat's got a lovely Pelican. That's a brand new cooler, actually, that we sell. And what's that go for, buddy? I can't remember. Like $75, I think.
$69.99.
$69.99, and that fits 8 beverages of your choice, and it's got a nice dry box on top. You could fit like your phone or your wallet or whatever, like if you're at the beach, you know.
Let's take a
And,
little.
For extra protection, put your stuff in an API bag.
there you go.
And
Oh
then in
man,
the Pelican.
I don't know if that little one comes with one, but the big one comes with a little
It's
freezer. Oh yeah, it's got a
That's
yeah, it's got a
that's
nice
very
pack.
loud on the computer.
yeah, they're nice, made by Pelican, so obviously super durable. Like you can toss that thing around, you're gonna have no problems with your beverages or. You know, like I love those Colemans. I have the cheap, although they're not that cheap nowadays. I feel like those are $20 or $30. I get the cheap like red and white Coleman, and like those are cool, but like there's no latch. They just flop open.
Yeah.
And the insulation, it's not that great. The Pelican, really, really good. So we've got a lot of unique things down here. at the firing pin.
Patricia asks, are y'all raiding the government war excess inventory again? And yes, always.
Taking some of our tax money back.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
land is my land.
Good stuff. Good stuff. What else have we gotten in? We got in a ton of the Backpackers Pantry meals.
Want to make one?
Maybe too many. I want to make one, but I want to be better prepared. I wanted to have stuff. We can though if you want to go grab one.
We don't have
Make a creme brulee.
open flames on a
Well, some of them you don't need to.
4 foot
The dessert ones, you just use cold water.
creme. That creme brulee is actually like really.
I was laughing this morning. I was impressed by how much brulee you got. Because there's the creme and then there's the brulee, the crumble.
There's a lot of brulee.
It's actually like that's kind of my go-to, like fancy. If we're like when we go to Jeff Ruby's, right? Like that's the fancy pants dessert
With our
that
wives. With our wives.
or not. That's the fancy. we've gone either way. Creme brulee. I think they did a good job on that one. And yeah, like you don't need to heat up any water. So man, you're out on the trail. You've had a long day. whatever. Like you want a quick dessert, 10 minutes. You put some cold water in there, you mix it up, you come back. Like if you're home, I would throw it in the fridge so it gets cold. But like if you're out in the field, it still works. Like we had that. We had the there's a dark chocolate cheesecake. That one was really good too. Same thing. Like
Pretty good. Yeah.
it'd be better if it was cold if you were like home. But I think what are they like $6 or $7? Like I'm proud of the fact that like we're cheaper than the big box stores on those. Like you go to REI, I think we're a solid like $1 cheaper than them on those. So and it was one of those. Selfishly, we got them mostly for us. I think.
Yeah.
I ordered them for me.
Hungry, yeah.
You know, yeah, and they are very good. I think. Go ahead.
What's that mac and cheese one we had yesterday? It was like Hatch green mac and cheese. It was like spicy and
Has anybody tried the chicken larb yet?
no, not yet.
Chicken larb.
The fettuccine is my favorite.
They're very dense too. Like some of them are 1 person or 2 person, which really means like snack or 1 person is how I see those. Like one actual big boy meal. But like the 2 person, I think the pad thai is one of the most calorie dense ones. You can get 800 calories out of one of those, which is pretty good. Like almost any of the other ones, you're getting like 500 or 600 at the most, which is what a lot of them are, 500 or 600 calories. But
And they all
have
have crazy protein amounts.
and they're good. They actually taste good. Most of like the old, like the Ready Wise or just the Wise when it was Wise
Yeah.
food, like that stuff was so salty.
If I were
Like,
starving,
right. Even then, you'd be like, ugh. Like,
we're not even.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have some like again. If you're just you want a snack, like you want some kind of dessert or something
We
like
eat them
that.
for
you don't-
lunch.
Yeah, absolutely, you do.
That
We're not-
was
sorry.
one of the most surprising things to me is like I came in here and like you guys were getting ready to eat one. You were like cooking some up and I was like,
Why?
what are you guys doing?
Like, there's there,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
in my experience, you know
Which
what I mean? Like
we're almost sold out of those, or are we sold? I think we are sold out of
a few.
those.
We
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a few.
We had a guy come in the other day and buy like
$200.
he was like, I want $200 worth of MRE. So I was like, all right, sir. Yes, sir.
just had a hankering.
Very specific. Yeah.
Just couldn't get enough.
Oh,
we're not
man.
even sponsored by Backpackers Pantry, but we definitely like should be.
Cool. That'd be cool. After that little plug.
Yeah.
Well,
Like every week we talk about them. I feel.
Should we do like what Phil does? He just like takes like photos that are like they should be an ad copy, and then he just sends it to companies, and they use them. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
Backpackers Pantry, defending your foreskin since 1952.
There goes that.
Oh, longtime viewers of the stream know our stance on
Freeze dried.
all. They're standing behind our rights, okay? Of
So
taking
if you ever want it again, in the
taking
future,
back our
it's
skin.
just freeze dry.
all right.
You too can sponsor this fight.
I need a drink after that.
Yes, we all do.
If you're out there
Y'all
drinking, you should drink too.
Look, the numbers went up when I said that. They did. Well, they didn't go
No,
down.
That is factual.
That's number of FBI agents on
Oh,
their way.
okay, yeah. Dude, did you see that post I put out? Like, there's another gun shop out on the east side that they go out and train, like, just outside at different places.
Oh no.
And they've noticed, like, several times now, like, the same small, like, 2 to 4 person plane will be up and, like, circling them while they're training
Sure.
out in the field. And it's like, yeah, what's that all about? And it's like, well, probably being watched. Like, I wouldn't put it past them, like the administration that we have, like going to that level to jam people up for like thought crimes, like it's Minority Report, right? Like that movie.
Yeah, it's very strange how many jurisdictions have gotten restrictive on just your right to go out and actually train with other people. Did you guys see? Yeah, I was. Yeah, thank you. In Vermont, they actually recently came out with some legislation whereby, and I don't know where it's at in the process, but apparently in Vermont they're actually trying to, or have potentially made it illegal for like somebody like myself to engage in firearms training on like a private basis, even with like individual people or
crazy.
anything like that, or like you can't go out and train as like a group of people. They've made it just very.
Was it like a very general thing, or against like paramilitary stuff, or like?
It was.
M word?
Can we pull? We'll take a gander, but No, it's very nebulous, and I feel like it could be used, like definitely it's a net that I could be caught in.
Sure, and I mean, they cast them wide enough. Who couldn't be?
Well, and that's the thing is like even our little group of people, like let's say that I wasn't anywhere in the vicinity, but the group of friends that we have that used to get together and train like on a semi-regular basis, those people would potentially, be able, they would potentially run
crazy.
afoul of that law as well.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. All for what? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It
it's
even
not
seemed
solving
like
things.
it even seemed like if you wanted to organize a competition potentially, like you could run into some
Sure.
issues there. I don't, just the way it was worded from.
We just gotta stand up. Just stand, right? It's that simple.
We just have to stand up
Yeah,
and say
revolting.
no.
We're literally standing up right now.
Oh damn!
Like I am not.
They made it seem way easier. In
I am
history
not
class.
seated or anything.
We're not outstanding. We're in standing. We could be out.
How many kids do you have to have before you go to
We
stuff
could be
like that?
outstanding in our field, but we're in our house, like in our building. At least one. Well, at least one kid.
Okay.
It just happens,
Okay.
man. Dude, it just happens.
We have a question in the chat.
Oh, thank
there.
God.
Yeah,
From Owen?
yeah, from Owen. How do you guys feel about the SRO? It's a nice optic. I don't have.
Is it a touch big? It's kind of the one complaint, right? It's on the bigger side.
It's on the bigger side of things. A lot of people
sure.
would argue
Yeah,
that you
absolutely.
get a wider field of view from it.
Yeah.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time shooting with
Yeah.
one.
Not a lot of people I know
I've-
have one.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I've held them. I've shot a friend's gun with, for a few rounds just to kind of see what it was all about. It's a Trijicon optic, it's impressive. It's nice.
You don't.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it off to change the battery.
Right.
So that's it's an updated RMR almost in that sense. I mean, it's bigger than the RMR.
Right. And it's
But-
got the round window as opposed to the square.
Like you said, bigger field of view.
Yep. Bigger
is
field
awesome.
of view. I mean,
It's definitely of those types of optics.
yes.
It's probably the one that I would go with, other than like I don't know any of the Hollow Sun numbers, but
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
enclosed
they're all
one.
enclosed.
Personally, I'm so biased towards the Hollow Sun. I have to be like really honest about that. I'm just so I like them so much because they're really durable and they have a great field of or they have great glass for the price point. They typically have a lot of like reticle options, and you can rely on like the battery life to be good, and they have solar backups and different stuff like that. So to me, I think the Hollow Sun just is a more like, it's kind of more where I want to be, because I feel like it gives me more options, and it's a little bit more user friendly for my use. But if you like Trijicon optics, you're gonna like what the SRO is, because it is.
I think a lot of that is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I hate to say I'm a fanboy.
Yeah.
And I love Trijicon, so
make great
I lost
optics.
mine.
I also love Trijicon, but like, do something.
Do something, seriously,
Do something.
The SRO is their, other than, like, I don't pay attention to their scopes, because they haven't really done anything other than, now we have a 2.5 to 8.
The
Like, or, now
yeah.
we have a 3.5 to 10. Like, okay, cool, you adjust those, whatever. But, like, I think the SRO is kind of their latest offering, isn't it? And that was 8 years ago.
It's the
been a
latest thing
while.
that they've done. Yeah, it's the latest thing that they've done in terms of pistol red dot technology. So,
Like you said, do something.
yeah.
Same with like EOTech and
Yeah.
all the American manufacturing.
Yeah, the EOTech, I really wanted to like,
It's got to be hard that they respect, like, don't we have to play ball with, like, patents and stuff, and, like, China doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
That's got to be hard.
yeah, I really wanted to.
Do you like patents? Are you a patent guy? Are you?
What's that?
What do you think about patents?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I've never invented anything, so I don't want to say good or bad. I don't like how people can just patent, like, ideas, or they'll patent, like, thousands of things. It's kind of like squatting on a domain, right, for a
Yeah.
website or whatever. I don't really agree with, like, a patent troll, But I definitely get it. Like, you're the guy that invented the fucking scrub daddy or whatever, like that stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want that protected. Like, I don't know. That's true, yeah, because if you make a patent, you have to disclose more information than if you just make and depending on what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you make a gun, people can just disassemble it and see how it worked. Like, but yeah, like software or like food.
Yeah,
right,
the
or
craziest
whatever.
patent
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my head is like the apple crisp. Apple.
Sure. Yeah,
How the
yeah.
hell do you patent a seed?
Fucking Monsanto.
Yeah, that's
right?
wild.
Like
Just patent nature. Patrick?
Yes.
certain gene combos.
Yeah, I mean you genetically modified it, but
Right.
still.
It's crazy.
Frick off, Leahy.
Just cross-pollinate my apples.
You a patent guy, Pat?
I mean, I don't know enough about like having patents as opposed to what not having patents. Like
Patents,
not
like,
do you
having the
support
ability
patents?
to.
Like,
Pat's kind of more of like a bird law type of guy. If you need bird law stuff,
I think
that's-
it's important to have your intellectual property be able to be protected from people. If you develop something that's genuinely innovative, then yeah, I think that you should be able to profit from that if you can articulate like how what you did was new and different than what other people who are in your same space are doing. I do think that that's like, because without that, like, what's the alternative? Then you can just, anybody could say that they invented anything.
it was weird to me. I know it's not a patent, but it's like a trademark or like a copyright type of thing, like owning the rights to something. After the Virginia thing, the Barrett Brandon thing, like we set up a little website. We were selling merch, right? And I used a photo of myself that I just like Google searched. I just like found a photo from the rally that I really liked, and I had that up on the website. And then like a month later, I get an email, and it was like, "Hey, like I'm so and so, and I'm the photographer that took that photo, and like my lawyer, like she pays a company, 'cause that's all she does is like news photography, right? So she like photos nowadays have like data, metadata, right? Like embedded in the photo. So like weekly or monthly or whatever, this company that she hires runs a scan of like the entire internet, and it's like, where is my photo? And then they cross-reference like who's paid to use my photo and who hasn't paid to use my photo. And obviously we didn't, right? And she's like, hey, like you've got to pay to use this photo. And I was like, it's a photo of my face. It was like it was literally like just this. It was like zoomed in, me just like stupid and like smiling, and it was like, look, I can prove that that's me. I can do whatever you want to do, but I was like, that's me.
Yeah,
and I
it's
know
me.
you took. And Phil's over here like raging right now. Like I know you took that photo and it's yours. And I agree, and I took it down eventually because she was like, well, I want like $200 for it. And I was like, I wouldn't
the
give you.
principle.
I wouldn't give you $20 for it because like it's me.
I'll go
Like,
take
it's
another.
so that's a weird, yeah. Like it's just a weird, you know, that was a strange situation for me to be in. Like I know when you go in public,
Yeah.
you give up all the rights of privacy and whatever. But it was like I can't believe that I can't use my own likeness. I guess that was the thing.
Well,
You're like,
I know. I guess you're right. It's an actual. I know. That's a wrong. It's a. But that's how it felt.
right.
It's me.
wait. So somebody could take a picture of your face because you're out in public,
It's just
like
ones
in
and zeros,
the
though.
instance of the Barrett Brandon photo. Someone could take a picture of you, and then they can profit from that.
They could make
picture
shirts,
of
couldn't
you,
they? Like-
right?
I mean, think about paparazzi.
If they took that
But-
photo, like this is my photo. Here's my collectible print of this.
But they don't
bozo,
have to get
right?
your permission to use your.
I don't know how that works. Right? Is that when it becomes? Yeah, because they're like.
Yeah, because doesn't
know how that
that
works.
Doesn't that seem
Because
like
presumably she made money selling it to like the Washington Post or who.
Right.
She sold that photo to people who presumably paid her for it, right? Like, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, but if you like, I wouldn't want somebody just taking my picture and then like putting it where like go find
I
some
always
other
thought.
ugly fucker.
So I
and
always
take a
did thought
picture
too,
of me.
like when you're making a commercial thing, like yeah, you're in public. I can take a photo of you, First Amendment, right? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I did always think if you're making like a commercial product, I thought you did have to get like a waiver.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe because
like,
it's news,
yeah,
you
don't
don't.
they
Is that
have
an
to-
exemption?
that
Because it's like a
seems-
news thing.
Probably.
That's got to be what it is.
I don't know, man. That seems
Because like
kinda
Jackass,
weird.
yeah, somebody comes up to you and does a prank on you, like yeah, your face is gonna get blurred out, or
Yeah.
like that's because
Right,
that's what
you have
happens,
to
right?
sign
You
like
sign a
a
release.
You have to
yeah.
sign a release, yeah, but I think because it was a news event or like a newsworthy, like we were just out in public, you know
That's
what I mean?
weird,
I don't know.
man.
One party
Whatever.
consent. I mean, that's a New York thing and a couple
That
other
is-
states.
Well,
but-
that's for like recording phone conversation. Like,
And
that's-
pictures and video. But we only have that because of New York City and commercials and
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Because
I
tracking
like the-
down all of the people to.
I know you do too. I like the one-party
Yeah.
consent rule. I record a lot of stuff, like 5 business meetings or just
Angry
something.
customers.
Yeah.
I don't like. Yeah, that. I get it. I
Because you
understand.
have to be present.
No,
Like,
no,
the,
yeah.
the person has to be like, you can't secretly record. Like Cam, if Cam left his phone behind
Right.
and recorded this, like that's not okay. Although it probably would because we're publishing it online.
Yeah, I was gonna
but,
say
like,
we're putting it on the interwebs.
you can't
so
do like the
pretty
leave
much whatever,
behind and like
but
secretly record. But like, if you
But, like,
are there,
if
like,
we're talking on the phone, you can record that though.
I think you can because I'm on the phone with you. Like I
Right.
can record my end of the phone call.
See, I don't
Although your
lo-
phone won't let you.
I don't-
I don't think like my phone.
Yeah.
My old
No,
phone
but
wouldn't
you can
let
get an app. No, but
Yeah.
That'll let you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I
I have a
know
recording app, but
I
when
know
I'm on the phone
people
call, it,
that.
like-
Yeah, no. I know people
Gotcha.
that like record all of their phone calls.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me.
Here you go. We're getting into some deep stuff. Do you guys have locations on for your phones? Like,
Absolutely not.
Do your wives track you?
I mean, I will turn that shit off if I decide I want to, and I think it's off right now. Actually,
Yeah.
find my iPhone, but like sometimes.
Or like on Snapchat or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
people.
I don't even have Snapchat or TikTok.
We don't have that, but isn't that like a thing? Like a lot of
Yeah.
people like.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We don't do that. Me and Anna don't do that.
I don't care that my wife tracks me. I just don't like having my location on as a principal because then everybody can track me.
Sure.
That's
yeah,
what I hate.
Agreed.
Yes,
Agreed.
everybody tracks me anyways.
That's
but-
the thing, man. Is like in all reality, I don't think that we even know how many different ways that we're being like. Maybe we know, but I don't think people really intellectualize and think about it, right? Like people that drive Teslas, for example. Obviously, they're way more
Everything,
susceptible to all of that shit because their car is recording everything that they're doing
Their face,
all the time.
like-
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you see that BlackRock, which is like the largest
Yeah. Fuck BlackRock.
landlord, right? They own the most property in the U.S., right?
That's why housing is so crazy right now.
They bought, I can't remember the company, but they bought a DNA, like 23andMe or whatever. They bought like one of the largest, like the databases that like has all of that stuff. Yeah, like they own that now. So imagine your landlord now having your
DNA.
like the Mira clan is statistically like 4% more likely to not pay their housing bill or whatever. So we're not going to rent to you.
Squatters' rights.
Like your DNA, not even your credit check, something you could actually work on now. But like your DNA disqualifies you from housing. Like crazy. It's fucking crazy. What's that?
That's why 23 is so cheap.
Is it?
Yeah, because they
It's just subsidizing. Yeah.
because their business is collecting data
Sure.
Yeah.
and they sell you.
Yeah.
Find out if they rent the data.
I'd
Right.
love.
Yeah, not only can you find out, they can find out. But the weird thing is, they can find out like from your DNA. Like, there's so much more information that they can find out than what you think. They can find out like things that like vaccines that might be less or more effective for you. You know what I mean?
It's a lot like Facebook too, where like I have not done that. I don't think you have. Have you? Have you done the DNA things? You ever
No,
done one of those?
but
Have you
if
ever
your
done
family
one?
member has.
Right. You haven't,
Right.
but a family member
Oh,
has.
yeah, for
so
sure,
they have, like,
100%.
they
Yeah,
know
yeah, yeah.
Pat is, we don't have
They can
100% of your
connect you all the
DNA,
way
but yeah,
to- yeah.
we've got
No,
like
they got
80,
half.
90%. Right, yeah.
No, they got
yeah,
half.
Dude, it's
Mitochondrial DNA is a
crazy.
bitch, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like it. What's that one?
Mitochondrial, that comes
Do I have
from.
that inside
Is
me?
that from
Yeah,
your
that
mom?
comes from your mother's. And that's like the longest lasting. Like cavemen that have unfrozen, that's the DNA we're pulling from them.
Oh, shit.
Mitochondrial. Wilds. I don't like it.
It's a problem.
So if they found
Is
like
that-
a sock
Do
somewhere
you think that's how they're?
that had,
No, that's the father's
that's from the
DNA.
father's
Yeah,
side,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're good. Okay.
That's
No,
all.
but
I think that's
is that how they're turning the frickin' frogs gay?
both. That's all the birth control.
Can
part.
we call up Alex? Can we get him on the phone?
I wish. Can you imagine having
I
Alex
can't get
Jones
him
on
on
the
the
street?
phone. I can't get him on the phone. No.
I wanted to like say hi to him. I don't want to keep circling back to Virginia,
Yeah.
but like he was at the Virginia rally. Like he had his warthog or whatever.
Yeah.
He has like an MRAP type vehicle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or he had it. Or
Yeah,
he
it's
still
probably
does.
gone now.
Yeah. I
Sandy
had
Hook.
to sell that.
It's an
But yeah,
asset.
he had like a swarm of people around him. Like anywhere he went, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Circling back to patents, I think one of the craziest patent is the Sensorama patent. I just dropped a link in the description.
Yeah, you've been like sitting on that for a minute.
Yeah, sorry. So this was filed in, I want to say like the 60s, October 4th, 1960. And this is the original patent for the VR headset.
No, that's cool.
And it's almost like,
I mean, that looks
like you look at it and that's
Yeah.
VR. That's one of my
pretty neat.
favorite like weird patents.
I very much.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, though, because somebody's gonna be made
Yeah.
I very much dislike the one. I believe Sony owns a patent on the process of you watching television, an ad coming up on the television, and you have to respond like, stand up and say, buy Coca-Cola. And until you stand up and say, I will buy Coca-Cola, like the ad won't end ever.
Sheesh.
It'll just play and you won't get your show back. And like they have that. They could do it. They just know the market won't. Not yet. Soon.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Your grandkids
We'll
will
get
love
there.
it.
Isn't
Oh,
that
you want
so
Peacock
weird?
without ads? Like, like.
Isn't that so weird how like they
don't like it.
know like, all right, these people are not quite compliant enough yet.
Mm-hmm. We'll get them there, though.
But
We'll get them there. We've got a 20-step process.
we can
First, we make sure
we can
they can't
force
use Netflix
we can
from
force
other people.
behaviors, as they say. The Netflix thing is pissing me off.
I lost no joke like 10 or 11 years of watch data more when I had
Well,
to go
good.
with my mom's.
Good. Purge that. They don't need that for you.
But like,
Go dark web.
suggestions.
yeah.
I go to
But
my
the
friends' houses and I burn
algorithm
DVDs, and then I watch those.
Take your Wi-Fi and torrent my library.
I pay a guy in Nebraska to mail me DVDs. Like he has Netflix and he just burns them. That's why I'm not in the system now. It's like old school. It's called Tedflix.
Tedflix.
That's his name. It's Ted.
Oh,
Just some
shit.
dude.
Ted what?
People are still watching us. I
It's
think.
crazy. I don't get it. I don't get it. Do we have any questions, please, God? Yeah, what's going on with France?
Yeah, well, cool. France passed legislation to make it legal for the government to track you using your phone's location services and accessing your phone's camera and audio to spy on you.
Man, France just got the Patriot Act. They
Yeah,
just
right. I
got
was gonna
it.
say, weird. America's been doing that since like 2001.
Welcome to night. Yeah. welcome to
There was a
2001.
question earlier that relates to guns because this is a gun show.
Yeah, thank you. I've been saying that.
Speaking of competitions, this is from earlier.
Yes.
Whatever became of that New York State legislation trying to ban hunting competitions? That was passed, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just saw that not long ago that they passed that you can't have any kind of like the Holly Squirrel Slam would be the most famous one that I'm familiar with around here, and
That
probably
is
most people.
bogus.
Did they have one in Oakfield too?
Well, I'm sure they did. Yeah, yeah. I think there were some workarounds where you could still do them, but it made it very difficult. And I don't know. I don't see. You know, you could maybe make an argument against like the bloodlust of it all, but I don't agree with that. Like it's a hunting.
It's population control.
Exactly. Like it's done so regulated, and I think at this point, if we don't do it, it's more harmful for the environment if we just let it try to correct
Yeah.
itself. You know, it's just
There
not.
are already fewer hunters in the woods than there have been in like
Yeah.
generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So there aren't even enough people. There aren't even as many people hunting now as there were 30 or 40 years ago. So some of those competitive aspects and elements of that are like the only thing that certain hunters are participating in to begin with.
Yeah, definitely. I remember like when the Holly Squirrel Slam, say 10 years ago, was a lot more popular, and then there was like a push from people in like New York City to like ban it or whatever, and it was literally just, you know, it feels like you're talking about like a movie cliche, but it was like literal outsiders
Yeah.
coming into our community,
No dancing.
telling us how to live our lives, and it's like, you know, again, it's still regulated. You're still within limits of whatever, you know. It's not like you just go out and murder as many whatever as you can. Like, all right, it's open limit. Like you could shoot as many squirrels as you want as
Today.
it is, right? Doesn't
Yeah,
matter how many you shoot. Like,
Right.
there's enough of them. So why does it matter if we do a contest? Like, it
Right.
just doesn't make sense.
It reminds me of like the grand scheme of I don't condone this 100%, but when people in like California and stuff were all sad about bears being hunted, and they pushed for bear hunting to stop, and now there's a huge bear problem, and people and children are dying from bear attacks.
Yeah.
In California?
Like, yeah, because it might not be California, but it's another like western state that there's like bad bear attacks because they've stopped hunting bears.
Because
And
at
the
one
bear
point in time, bears
population-
were like extinct in California. I don't. So like,
Well, they used them all for the flag.
they had that one, and they just. No,
that
I
was
know.
dumb.
I know what you're saying.
I'm gonna
though.
drink because of that one.
I know what you're saying. But, yeah.
Please don't have me cite my sources. Oh, thanks for reminding me of the private chat.
Lewis Alfred says he has a patent. What did he say?
Where's your computer? Oh,
I
awkward.
don't have a computer. Brandon, I have a patent for the inspection of the steam generation at the Gunay Station nuclear plant. That's super cool. Wow. Yeah, Gunay. That is the reason that we keep some what do you call it? The tablets. Why can't I think of the name of them? Iodine. Yeah. What we got here?
So-
Own or operate
Yeah.
paramilitary
That's
training
crazy.
camps.
Let's read it out loud. Is there any way you can put
I
that up
actually
in
want
the
to see
chat?
what the legislation says, though.
Sorry, we're reading as well. Yeah, I don't really appeared in the Burlington. We got to go down this rabbit hole.
Definitely a scary, it's not New York, but Vermont has always been a state where the Second Amendment was very free. A lot of other places in the Northeast, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, they were pretty lax in their gun laws, especially for how I would say, like
East Coast.
left liberal, like leaning that they are. Very, very like hippie, whatever, but a lot of their gun laws were very non-restrictive. So that's a shame to see about that with Vermont, and it again, it's just another domino falling, I guess.
It
Where
sucks
it's,
how like the original 13 colonies are just going ass up. It just sucks.
yeah, and that's again. I mean, if you think of the Second Amendment, even if you don't agree, which the Supreme Court would disagree with you, but even if you don't think that the Second Amendment is a individual right, almost everyone agrees that it's the right of like a militia. As long as it's like organized, and a lot of people that are anti-gun are okay with like, okay, if there's some organization to it, if there's some training, then because that's what it says. The right of the people to keep and bear arms. Militia shall not be infringed.
Well, but a lot of people, I think, don't recognize like the true definition of what the militia was supposed to represent, right?
Like a Swiss style of where we're all riflemen at home, and
the
then
militia is in reality like it's all of the citizenry that is of military age, right? So in reality, like the militia is supposed to be everyone coming together to provide for the common defense of your specific localities. And
put that one on the screen.
Sean says, "Wish we could have a Rochester car thief shoot."
Dude, the numbers that have come out from that, it's like literally hundreds of cars have been stolen in Rochester. Like, terror, like living in terror. I have never, I remember them from when I was a kid, like the club, you'd put on your wheel or whatever. And then when I was taking the girls to the airport a couple weeks ago, I saw like a Kia that had that club like on the wheel because the city's giving them out like for free.
yeah, but now you just cut the wheel of the you just cut the steering wheel at that specific point, and then you just get the club right off of the wheel.
It takes you another
It's literally
10
like
seconds, maybe.
the problem with a product like that is it's literally just there to keep the people who don't really want to steal your car from stealing. If somebody really wants to steal your car, they're gonna.
Did you see the news report where they stole one like during the news report?
Yeah.
Like a reporter was like in a neighborhood giving a story, like right here in Rochester, and like there's a house like down the block and you can see the garage, and like 4 or 5 like teenage boys go in there and like car pulls out, like live on TV.
wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
My neighbor's car got stolen. It's just
Really?
it's crazy.
Wow.
Austin Wood says, as one of the younger members on the stream, he needs to get out of New York. You can't even have a gas stove in your home. Yeah, I hate all of that push too. Like all of like the removing of wood burning and gas. 100%.
Yeah, it's another, it's pulling on a thread we were talking about here the other day, the staff, about like gambling and stuff. And like, yeah, in New York City, if everyone had a wood stove that would be an issue. So like you have to ban them. But then like out here, you almost need a wood stove or an alternate fuel source because the power grid is not reliable enough, or just things, shit's crazy.
Especially with the push for electric.
And we have the space for it. You know what I mean? We have the lower population density where it's fine. The gas stove thing, I don't know. Like, I was skeptical of that at first when I saw it, but then like you look at you look at the data, like you look at the numbers, and those are really like not many people, I would say, have those like properly vented in their house. So like when you're using a gas stove, like I don't know, it is pretty bad for you, like libtard.
Okay, and
Thank you.
that's fair enough. But
So it's like, should you be able to just install, like, you have to have like your water heater vented in your house? Like, why is the government get
Says
involved
who?
with that? You know what I
Okay,
mean? So
but-
there's like, or your furnace. So it's like
The flip
there are
side of
certain
that
things that
coin
we're already
is-
okay with.
but what about if we go away from gas and we go to electric, right? Like,
Oh, I don't want to go down that path. I'm not saying that necessarily because I don't agree with that either. We need to be diversified.
because like
we need to be,
but yeah, like what's creating a lot of our electrical power is coal, right? Is
old coal.
Is coal cleaner burning or less clean burning than natural gas? So I don't know.
Well, Trump promised clean
I'm
coal.
not an expert on any of this stuff, but
Yeah.
in reality, like I think
some
you're
of it-
gonna have to burn something to get.
Some of it too, I guess,
Power
like
at
it
a
doesn't
certain
make
point
it
in time.
better in the grand scheme of things, but burning the coal at the coal power plant away from you is better for you. Like we should burn the nasty stuff. Like I'm get you like for the earth, you're right. Like I'm gonna burn 10 fires at 10 different homes, so there's 100 units of smoke going up into the air. Versus if we burn it all at the factory, there's still 100, maybe 1,000 units of smoke going up. But at least they're not at your house.
But,
And I think that's what they're
somebody's
trying to
still
get
got to
rid
work
of.
there and like.
Well,
how much-
robots.
Right. Yeah.
Black Mirror. It's cool.
I don't know, man.
You get
It's-
ChatGPT to do it.
I'm not an expert on any of that shit,
You
but
get-
it just seems like.
Yeah.
I've got just one really crazy idea that I just want to throw out there, and it's mind-boggling.
All right.
Just leave me alone.
Who would build the roads?
Just leave. Just
That's always like the counterpoint.
Who will build the roads?
no, but just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. And to an extent, you can do that. I mean, it's easier said than done, but if you own some property, you can go out on that property and you could just build a thing and get a gas stove and install it. And, I don't know if they outright banned gas stoves. I think you just have to have them vented properly. I think that's what it was.
Until the GSTF comes and kills your dog. The gas stove task force.
That was good. That was good.
I mean,
Very
yeah,
good.
I don't know.
It's definitely, one of those things like we discuss a lot. ChatGPT. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it.
Future.
And then you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's for you. That's like you see that coming. That's the way it's gonna go. And I guess I don't want to say I've given up or I've realized that that's the way it's gonna be. I guess that's the way it's gonna be. Again, we used to not have indoor plumbing, and then now we do. And like when we built this place, you should have seen the regulations we had to do for the septic system, just so you could poop in a hole in the ground. It sucks, man. It sucks.
We used to use moss. Now we don't. Now we just use trees.
Please don't put moss in our toilet. Please don't put moss in the toilet. We're not that big of a hippies. I don't know, man. You can use the L word on me, but I definitely like the environment is one thing that we need to be like protecting and working towards. Like,
I get like the
No, if we're all
plastic.
just gonna live in cities, it'll be fine.
and I don't think that's the move. I think a lot of people are seeing that. Yeah, like when you go into the city, you're almost 100% reliable on the government. Like if that grid goes down,
Good,
or
Brandon. Good.
right.
You can live in the pod and you can eat the bugs.
That's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. No thanks.
When I'm in the virtual sphere and I have a nice steak dinner, but I'm just eating crickets in base reality, it tastes pretty steaky.
Do you think that's air you're breathing now?
So Brandon says no pod or bugs. Got it. Okay.
No pod, no bugs.
No pod, no bugs.
bug. Okay.
But I pull that thread all of the time. And like our grandkids are definitely just going to be
Do you think ChatGPT is not gonna make you eat bugs?
No, they won't.
Yes, it will. You didn't say thank you that one time. Here's
do
your
talk
gruel.
very respectfully
Here's
to
your gruel.
ChatGPT.
Human.
Good for you.
Human battery.
When it becomes sentient, I want to be like, oh, thank you for being respectful,
You were
Tyler.
kind to me.
Where are my testicles, Summer?
I will. I will reduce your pain threshold 0.4%.
Somebody
now
asked
what?
some questions.
So speaking of the
Somebody
future,
rescue us from
there was a company recently that released a gun a smart gun. Biofire.
No.
No, Pat just goes no. Immediately no.
I don't love it.
You don't?
No kind of technology.
Why don't? Tell me.
Chat GPT isn't in the gun?
Not yet.
Chat GPT, should I shoot?
You just
Aim this gun
you
for
just
me.
get like the speech bubble. Analyzing. Keep Summer safe.
Okay, so
Second quote,
what
sorry.
what part of it don't you like?
I don't like biometrics, so I'm almost looking at the safe. I had a safe that took thumbprint, and it was disgustingly awful. It didn't work. It works probably like 3 or 4 times out of 100, and I just don't trust fingerprint sensors in a handgun to disengage when I need it to. And
But
then,
if the experts say that it's good, then it's good.
We
Yeah.
can't connect to 4G,
right
so your gun can't, like, son of a bitch.
when you
What? Yeah. What if you don't have Wi-Fi? Can you use your gun then?
or
Right.
it's too dark and it can't get an iris scan when you aimed on your sights. Can you pull up a link to that and drop it in chat?
Your card on file was declined. We can't update your subscription this
Right.
month.
And what if? Is the gun connected to some sort of a network? Can it be hacked?
You have to Ethernet it. every
Like you have to
night.
pay a subscription fee and like you can't use hollow points in your gun if you
You've
don't pay
only- yeah.
$10 a month.
Yeah. And like, how does my social credit score affect
got
my
the-
ability to use my gun? Like, these are all questions.
You
that
only
I-
have the 5-round package.
Pat, you're a piece
sir.
of shit. Like
Yeah, that's true. You got me. Well, you got me there.
Well, you got me there.
you can't take the L train nor use a firearm. So I'm pulling up.
That was good.
I'm
It
pulling
took me
up
a minute.
their. We're looking at it. Is there any way you can
Always
pull this up
locked.
on PIP? So our friends can see it with us. Sorry, we're still working with this new software. We haven't tried this, so experience it with us. Michael says they're using USB-C and the battery takes 48 hours to charge.
What?
But I'm angry now.
Yeah, I want violence now.
But,
Yeah, look at this whole like.
I mean, it looks cool.
It looks cool, but
And then
Do they just assume that people leave
and like,
guns
yeah, they're just like,
out? Like, what
I
do they
mean-
think is
I
going
mean,
on?
I
with
do if
people's
I want
guns?
to.
Yeah, but not everybody's doing that.
And just like not in a little shadow box like that, like it's a piece of art.
so I know you can't see the video, but there's a little scrolling video, and the guy is just docking his gun into like a credit card looking machine, and it locks because it's fingerproof, but you shouldn't be leaving your
Why
gun
couldn't I
out
just
like
take that whole thing?
Yeah, just rip that off. I hope it mounts.
I bet it does, but still, it's stupid.
Sorry, we're still looking.
But yeah, what if they don't
Always
want me
locked.
to?
And then I bet as a gun, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
is it-
okay, even if it's the best, like even if their locking system's flawless, I bet the gun itself blows.
Yeah,
Looks
it
really top-heavy.
Weird. It looks like a high point.
Right?
At least it comes with like a case.
And like, okay, so it just locks.
There we
It just locks in itself. Like
So
once you have the gun, is it smart at all?
let's start up from the top and we'll go down. Okay, Joe? We'll talk shit from the top. Although we're not seeing what we're seeing.
Take it from the top.
So
We'll talk all
yeah,
sorts of
I don't know.
shit.
It looks like the slide is tiny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
Maxim-esque. But if you
So it's gonna be very hard for most people to use.
scroll down a little bit more, like where you see the
Lightning
sites,
fast biometrics.
I hate those sites. They don't even like.
Garbage.
I-
yeah.
Those are the worst.
They look like high. It looks like a high point from the back.
How much do you think they could get the sites any farther away from each other? Like the top and the bottom?
How's the bore axis on this guy?
High.
It's reasonably high, but there's no moving. There's no like reciprocating mass really. But it's got facial recognition.
Facial
Wait, what?
recognition.
So where? How? On the holster thing or on the gun?
On the
Probably
Back
somewhere
plate
Is that
back
what
there.
that is? I don't like that.
Lightning fast. dude, I don't want my gun having to like calculate all this BS for me to use it. And one, as Pat always says, you don't get to choose your fights ever.
Oh, no
And-
codes, buttons, or gadgets required. Oh, that's cool.
How much does this stupid thing cost?
Well, guys, well,
Yeah.
experts trust it.
Yeah, so that's that little dock. If you keep scrolling down to like where it shows the case, Joe.
Yeah, it has a dock.
I know you took the PIP off.
How much dry fire practice am I allowed to do with this thing?
Where we come from.
Oh,
NASA.
so no gun companies.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, right?
That's
Oh, yeah.
I really want-
do no evil. It comes from Google.
Oh, General Dynamics.
NSSF,
Yeah.
the Marines. Of course, they got like.
I'll watch that Forgotten Weapons video later.
NASA.
Oh snap! They have a Forgotten Weapons video. That's cool.
No Space Force.
They have NASA. Close enough.
Close enough.
I'm trying to find the. What did that say about NSS? Member of NSS. Yeah, you just paid
They
to
have to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we.
You have. Yeah. Build your smart gun. Okay. This will be cool though in the future.
Christ.
Holy they're $1,500 for a batch too. It would be cool to like if more gun companies had like build your gun like SIG. Why isn't that a feature?
Whose website were we just on?
It is a feature.
Whose
Really?
website were we on that
The
you could
Platypus.
get? Platypus. Yeah. Who makes that?
I don't recall.
Who makes Stealth Arms? Like that website was crazy.
No, there's a configurator for SIG 320s.
Yeah, there is.
Can you picture in picture again and just play around with the build your gun features? Because I think that's actually pretty cool. I'm sold. Yeah, yeah, on smart gun. I'm sold on this feature.
Just because they're UI.
I'm getting rid of.
Just because of their.
I'm getting rid of everything, and I'm just gonna have this
That's gonna
because
suck.
I like that you can
Oh,
make
but
it
you can-
orange,
oh, cool.
so it looks.
I have spray paint.
The mag release, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Wait, hold on. Primary hand. What happens if I have to shoot my alternate hand? See this?
Yeah.
all
What
of-
if you're bloody?
None
Like, what
of
if you
this-
get injured?
Yeah.
Stupid.
What if one of my kids
Oh, but I
has to
can
use
pick a
the
custom
stinking
serial
gun?
number.
Yeah.
What if I'm not at the
custom
house and one of my kids has
It's
to use the
weird.
gun?
Sure. It's
Right?
crazy.
Like-
Man. It's crazy.
Their mags are $49. That's pretty average.
Oh, wow, I bet it sucks.
And I like that they have like the range kit for $100. You get Ear Pro and Eye Pro.
Wow.
For
They really.
dude, let's say the same shit for $6.
Biofire Care, while glove services and support.
White glove.
White glove. Sorry. Wow. White glove service and support from the people who know your smart gun. Yeah, you fucking
Wait,
built it.
what? What does that mean?
Yeah, and like 1 year.
I don't want your white
get?
gloves touching my shit. What are you talking about?
Is that just like a warranty program?
Like, my gun. I don't understand how my gun like works.
My
Yeah,
gun is not
like-
detecting my iris properly. Fix.
Hi. Yes, I have a home invader right now. He's in the house.
I
What
do
do I
love how
do?
some of that Milsurp,
What do I do?
that Milsurp stuff does have like
For
numbers
customer service. Yeah.
My fingerprints aren't unlocking this gun right now. Help! I'm being stabbed today.
I'm being stabbed. Please help.
I wonder how many they sold. It says sold out of the first run.
I mean,
Or is that just a
Yeah, because their
marketing?
moms are really proud of them, so they bought one.
I like low key just want one to test it out, but I don't want
I'm
to.
not gonna wait until June of
Test
next
it with
year.
what?
I don't trust that this company is also not like selling my data, my facial data and iris and
Obviously, they're
fingerprints.
doing all of that.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Why wouldn't
Every time you pull the trigger, they take a picture.
Oh, he's showing out the SIG building. I was on their website, not ours. I didn't realize you could do this with SIG. That's actually really cool.
Nick, my ex-girlfriend wasn't fingerproof.
Jesus Christ.
they? I mean, good. I think,
Or was she?
I think that's
Or
good.
was she?
For you, I'm not going to put that up.
Yeah, Marianne. What
I don't
BS?
know.
Yeah, Gemma says it's BS. The Mantis system is probably pretty.
No, you're not allowed to dry fire it.
Yeah, you're only allowed 20 trigger
What do
presses.
you think you're a lot? We're training to get proficient? No.
I bet it honestly, like,
Because like people who want to be proficient are buying that gun.
yeah, 100%. That is a really good way to limit how many times you can shoot in a month, and
No, but think about how all the monitoring that they can do.
yeah, like your gun's locked because you shot 20 times this month, and that's all you're allowed to round.
No, but what if they can literally like? They can literally mess with the ignition of your gun. Like,
Yeah.
there's any number of things that
Absolutely.
they could do.
Biofire, send us one of your guns so we can
Shit
properly give it some love.
No, biofire. I
Close.
can't even say the
Go out
stuff
of
that I want to
business.
say to you. The fact that you exist is an affront to everything Yeah,
And
you are the grossest.
It sucks. I mean, I'm a fan of innovation. I like when companies are pushing the envelope and trying stuff, but there's certain states that have laws that, like, as soon as
Right.
smart guns are
Yes.
available, those are the only guns that can be
New
sold.
Jersey specifically, like,
For New York, they did. But there are some states that have.
New Jersey is
Oh, okay. Did they take that one off too? Yeah. All right. Good. New York, we have one with microstamping.
Yeah.
As soon as they can figure out microstamping, supposedly that's going to happen here in New York, which would be absolutely ridiculous and ass.
So don't leave your range brass after shooting.
Seriously, ridiculous. Or do, yeah.
yeah.
Thousands of pieces of brass on Avenue D. Or other streets.
That's that biofire to me, honestly, like they are clearly very anti-gun, right? Like there is no company, there is no way you can convince me that an actual Second Amendment supporting entity would go near any of that shit.
The thing is, I think they are.
Well,
They're not
yeah,
from- they don't-
but they're like, I'm a Second Amendment guy, but like that's the kind of Second Amendment guys that they are.
But
right?
only you should
if
be able to shoot
anything.
your gun. Toddlers kill more people than terrorists do.
Well, what about terrorist toddlers?
Shit. Checkmate.
They're like the
Check. I got nothing.
ultimately.
And I didn't see any poor people. That video, like,
Yeah.
that was all like very rich, like
Those-
very high end. Yeah.
This is what
like
people. These are the gun collections of people in Fairport,
1,500.
Pittsburgh. that dude's
Seriously.
from Fairport.
Seriously. Yep.
No,
Yep.
but seriously, think about it. Like you want to get your first gun. We already have a $500 like that can be a barrier to entry for some people.
And this kind of implies too that a gun is only something you should have at home, because you're not going to holster that. The thing's massive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And they're
stupid.
they're leaving the house and the gun is just chilling
right.
there.
Specifically, like, nope, leave it there, like, and leave it in view where anyone
Yeah,
could just
anybody
see
can
it.
see it.
Like,
I mean, I get it's an
the
advertisement.
fucking Uber guy
but-
could see it.
Yeah, but like, why is that dad is leaving with his entire family and his gun is just at the house? Like, man, I hope that nothing bad happens while we're out and about.
I like how we're gonna go home and find holsters like that just like sit on your counter, but like with no smart feature at all, but just like a chef's like knife sitting on your kitchen counter. Like, I like that.
Yeah, the smart
MPX.
feature on
It's
my
like
gun is that
these.
the people that I live with aren't.
Yeah. That you trust them.
Right. I've actually
Jonathan-
spent some time.
I like that.
Jonathan Murphy says that's like NASCAR sponsoring speed regulating cars, and I do like that.
Yeah.
Actually, NASCAR has speed regulations for the track.
But that's for competition, just like UFC has, weight classes and what you're taking regulations.
I mean, you already have speed regulations. You can drive your sports car to 200. Not always.
I think cars do kill a lot of people, and there is no reason for you to have a car that goes faster than the state speed limit of 65 miles per hour.
I don't see why you need more than like 5 gallons in the tank either.
100%.
When you said
There's
the
gas stations everywhere.
State, that part.
State speed limit, the highest state speed limit of 65.
I
Why
think it
does
should
your car
be
need to
lower.
go faster?
I think it should be lower. Just go leave sooner.
I think less people died when everyone was riding horse and buggy.
That is very true. A lot fewer people died from cars when
There weren't
there was only horse and buggies.
When
Yeah.
the founding fathers founded this
Pre-1900?
nation, they used horses.
Show me the data.
A lot fewer people were dying of old age when the life expectancy was 29. What are you talking about?
How many people died in their 80s back then? Very few.
Checkmate again, Tyler. Good job.
All right.
Actually, a lot of people did. It's just all of the babies died. Like, if you made it past like 5,
That's true. I guess that was dying of old age then.
Yeah. That's why you had like 30 kids.
your wife died in childbirth.
Taser released a feature with their pulse that I didn't really love. When you discharge the pulse, it immediately like dispatch.
Notifies the
Yeah.
police.
Which
What? How?
You get cell subscription.
yeah, you subscription in your Taser. They marketed this like a few years
The
ago,
ones we have, but
assuming that I want the cops to know I just tased
So you
somebody.
can't even tase,
Right.
can't even tase yourself in the bedroom
bold of
anymore
you.
without the police getting involved?
Bold of you to assume that I'm using this product for good instead of evil.
But that biofire again, like it's just gonna like
2 adults just tasing each other in their bedroom. Now the cops are going to get called.
Yeah, that's like privacy
Bullshit, man.
violations over here.
So buy the old tasers, I guess is what you're saying.
Yes.
Non-restraint based just locks your muscles.
I guess if there's one title for this stream is The Government's Looking Out For You. Brought to you by Biofire.
Trust the government.
Should always trust the experts.
I can't stop thinking about the smart gun and how dumb it is.
I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad about it. Like, I could not be any more angry about it.
You're throwing Sharpies at my feet? You just weren't there, Brendan. Hi, Jim. It's good to see you.
Jim always has something smart to say. Yes, I agree that, yeah, the data thing. Data can be manipulated any number of ways, depending on who's trying to get what information from the data.
Mm-hmm.
So
Laws can be manipulated in any ways too. They found coke in the White House, and we're never gonna find. Yeah,
No, but
we're
that's-
never gonna find out.
That's
who this
very
is
funny. Have you guys noticed how many news reporters were making jokes about that specific story, like when they were talking about it? It was very, very. Now imagine, if you will, that like a different. It could be any number of presidents. I don't care which one. Pick one. But any other president, if there was cocaine in the White House, I feel like we would be really worked
No,
up.
I think
about
Rutherford B. Hayes got down. He got crazy.
it. Fair enough.
It's not the first.
But it was legal back then, I think.
I don't subscribe to cocaine. Like I don't.
You
I've
don't?
never done it. I don't know. I don't care if
Is
you
that like
do
on
it.
Amazon? How do you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What
I mean, you can get
subscription
prescribed
services
it.
out
Is
there?
it-
You can get prescribed cocaine today.
Is it Amazon Prime?
It's a nasal analgesic. Or,
Analgesic.
yeah.
Sure.
But again,
got
but
a
I
good
also like
dentist,
don't care
I
if
guess
you
you can-
do it. But I hate that so many people have lost their life from having it.
Yeah, that's the conversation we were having about like gambling, because they're talking about opening
Yeah.
a casino in Rochester. Like, hey, if you're responsible, like if you're paying your bills, like your kids are fine, like why shouldn't you be able to go gamble, play blackjack, whatever?
Yeah.
But then like you look at the prime customer and it turns into degeneracy. Like it destroys
Destroys
community,
lives,
but it's
yeah.
like, but you should be able to, like.
My thing about New
You know?
York State in general, like with gambling really makes me annoyed with New York State, because I don't know if you guys know how much they spend on like lottery tickets and like printing those
Oh,
things
sure.
and like distributing that
Yeah, yeah.
shit. Like
Who
they are
owns that
very invested. I'm not sure, but they are very invested in promoting degeneracy
Mm-hmm.
and getting a lot of revenue for the state
Yeah.
out of that.
That's
And
all they see it
It's
as.
not just
Right.
gambling either. It's like cigarettes. Like they don't give a shit if you smoke cigarettes or not, as long as you pay the taxes
Right.
associated
If they
with
actually
smoking
cared, why
cigarettes.
isn't
Yeah.
the tax $100 a carton?
Right.
Or $100 a package?
Uh,
Because they figured out that we could charge this much.
this much.
They found the spot on the graph. You know what I mean? Yeah, like
Poor
diminishing
people will
returns.
still buy the
Yep.
poison that's
This will
killing them.
maximize our revenue.
Right.
By yeah.
But they're happy to sell you the shit that is poison, as long as you're willing to pay for it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Alcohol and the weed thing, like New York State seems to be really taking their sweet time with
For
getting
sure.
any sort of like infrastructure in place. But you can bet your ass that for people who are out there selling weed right now in like an unregulated type of fashion, or who haven't, gone through all of the requisite state rigmarole, somebody's gonna come after them later.
Yeah.
And they're gonna want their money.
If
and
you
they don't
know
give a
those
shit
places,
about,
let us know so we can avoid them.
yes,
we want to
need
know.
directions on how to stay away from them.
Don't want to go there.
I have never inhaled.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill Clinton.
We'll build back better.
Yes.
And I have never
And I've
inhaled.
never inhaled.
And I don't know Monica who?
Monica who? Get out from under.
Jablowski?
Get out
Monica
from
Jablowski.
Get out from under.
No, I don't know her.
I don't see what the big deal was. Oh, it's embarrassing.
One of my favorite gifs to this day is still Hillary Clinton. The wow, oh, the fake wow, dude, I love that gif.
Yeah, man. The thing that bugs me with gambling in New York is that it's just like a monopoly, I guess. Like they allow just the Indians or the Native Americans, right, to do it, and
Please.
it's, you know, it's either you open it up and anyone can do it, and it's Pennsylvania where like every gas station has a slot machine, right, that like slowly takes 4 people's homes away from them, like over time, or
But a lot of
I
those
don't
aren't
know.
legal either.
You don't think so?
Oh, dude, I know so.
Really? They're just there? Nobody
Most
cares?
bars and most dive bars and stuff with slot machines,
It's just
they'll
there.
pay out, but if you ask, they don't pay out. Like,
Sure.
oh, those are just for fun.
Sure. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wait,
most of those
what?
are illegal, like
What?
100%.
It's crazy. But yeah, like I don't know, freedom, right? Like you should be free. Why?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I be free to gamble? But we couldn't
Or
if
do
we
crack or
if we made
meth
like a
or
little
heroin.
gambling. If we had a little poker game night here, like we would eventually get busted. Like if it got too big, we would get in trouble. The state didn't get their cut. You know,
Right.
that's what it all comes down to.
That's
Yeah.
all they care. They don't care about whether or not you're doing the shit. They care
Right.
about whether or not they're getting paid.
Fact.
Money.
Fact. What else we got? Let's get out of here. It's hot.
Okay. Got nothing.
Well, everybody's
stream tonight.
been. I mean, the viewership is up. Is pretty good. You
And
know?
we feel like
The
an
numbers are
hour.
pretty good.
It was a fast hour.
Yeah, I feel like we've had a pretty decent show. Everybody's been pretty engaged. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of questions necessarily. We should try and get some questions for next week. If you guys have any questions for next week that you want to answer, I really want to stick to some gun topics next week if we can.
we talked about gun topics.
I
a
know
lot.
we did. No,
Yeah.
You get. It's awesome.
Smart gun. Just remember, for anybody out there with firearms, they are bad. You should cut them up. And this is brought to you by Biofire.